been like a century.
My hair grew like 10 inches.
Magically. And I've gone from like a redhead to straight up ginger.
Minus the freckles. She's not cute enough for freckles. I said freckles. But we're gonna do a story time this time. We're gonna take a break from trying to be pretty and just tell you something funny.
How we met.
How we like
Valentine's Day.
started being friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just broken up with like a psycho, and like during this breakup, we had started talking because I like had to. Why would I ask you what his number was? How would you
I don't
ever
know.
know?
We were like, call him
Kyle.
Kyle.
His name was Kyle.
But she like texted me after we started talking for a
like
week.
Facebook message because I didn't have a phone.
Yeah. And she was like, do you have Kyle's number?
And she was like, no. And then after that, I was just like, oh my god, like, let's hang out. I tried to bring her, like, a cheese slice to school one day. She's like, I don't like cheese. And I was like, okay.
She also tried to do that later for me, like, when I slept over. She tried to greet me in the morning and was like, I brought you a cheese slice. And I was like, I don't like cheese.
It just, everyone likes cheese. It doesn't make sense. But we ended up, me, her, this girl.
We'll call them Nally and Sally.
Nally and Sally. Okay, so
And
we're
our
calling
friend
Nally and Sally.
Brock.
Brock was driving. There
Yeah.
was no drunk driving in this. No animals were harmed in the
He
process.
was a DD.
So, like, obviously we were in, like, grade 11. So, yeah, okay, so Brock got our liquor for us because we were still babies.
Yeah.
And so it was Valentine's Day. So I was 16 still. I hadn't even turned 17
Both
yet.
of us were.
We were both 16 still.
Both
Neither
babies.
of us had heard 17 yet. Neither of us have turned 17 yet.
This
So-
was the first time I was drinking alcohol, like, and getting drunk, mind you. Just a preface. He was drifting around, like, one of the parking lots, and Sally was, like, she had just broken up with her man, too. And we found a
He had
random
broken up with him.
stranger. Yeah. He had found a random stranger in the parking lot.
Who was like 30 years old. Granted, these two were also like, it was late. So anyone in this park was either just like a degenerate or just like at their age, a 30-year-old, like probably a pedophile.
Doing drugs. Who knows? And she went up, she's hanging out of like Brock's truck, and she's
like,
like
the window, she's like, hey.
yeah, and she's like, I'm trying to make out with as many boys as possible tonight. And then we all watched her make out with him.
Yeah, she literally just reaches her head out, like, butt out like this in the window, and she just starts making out with this guy, and then she's like, okay, thank you. And, like, we just drive away. Night continues. We're driving, we're dancing, we're doing, like, carpool karaoke with, like, carpool dance moves. Like, shit's going insane.
We go ham. Sally and Allie weren't. We were always meant to do it.
Yeah, like, we were
jamming
going
hard.
ham. And this was also, take in mind, this was the second time we'd ever hung out, but the first time we'd ever hung out, like, wasn't really, like...
We only hung out for, like, 20 minutes.
Yeah, like, it was at Shisha. Like, it wasn't, like, intense.
Yeah, it
like,
wasn't...
We
We
weren't
doing
smoking.
anything.
Yeah, so, like, this was, like, pretty much the first time we'd ever hung out. And I'd, like, hung out with Sally and Nally, like, numerous times before. And Nally was actually, like, my best friend in, like, grade 10, but she's, like, clingy. And so, like, Kelsey is, like, completely new to all of this. Like, that was the first time you'd ever been drunk.
Yeah.
That was the first time Kelsey had ever been drunk. So, like, we're wasted. I'm wasted. I had also, like, just started a thing, like, a little while ago with this guy from, like, Calgary, Okotoks. Dolan. We'll call him Dolan. So, like, we were, like, in love, whatever. He's supposed to be, like, my Valentine. I was supposed to call him at some point and, like, talk to him. So we get to a McDonald's. I'm on the phone with him. We're, like, talking a bit. Sally takes my phone away. She's like, no, like, you can't talk to him anymore. Blah, blah, blah. We go inside. Everybody's peeing. It's a group pee. I'm in my stall, like, the big handicap stall, by myself, while they're all in, like, the small stall. Then, like, they're, like, knocking on my stall, and they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, are you fine? And I'm like, yeah. I open the stall door exactly like this. Arm leaning up. And they're like, are you good? And I go, and then pass out. Literally back, like, fall. Just head to the ground. Gone. People are, like, scooping water from the sink into my mouth, bringing me to life. I was eating snow outside.
like literally like by the tires, like taking up dirty snow and just like shoving it in her mouth, and then like Sally came up to her and was just like, here, you need more.
Like, eat more snow. And then more could have happened that like we just don't remember because we were
in that McDonald's for like an hour.
We were also the most drunk out of everyone. Sally was fine because we were drinking Jack Daniels, and
Sally was throwing up every single shot. I don't know what Nally was doing that she wasn't getting drunk, but
she just like, they both like just were not really taking shots out of this bottle because like obviously if you're drinking in a car, like you can't be making mixed drinks or taking shots and then like chasing it. But both of these two are like, oh my god, like we drink like 1 beer and like 3 coolers and like hard.
But
liquor,
we're hard bitches.
Yeah, but we, you know, like
we go
black
hard.
out or like don't drink at all.
Yeah, like if you remember the night, did you really have fun? No.
I mean, would we know otherwise? No.
But like if it flops, then I don't even remember, so who cares?
Exactly. So then like we dropped Sally off because she, praying to God she never finds this video, and she does, like, I love you, like, you know I love you regardless, but you know that this is true. She is the kind of girl that would constantly flop for her shitty at the time, not anymore, shitty at the time boyfriend, who would just constantly break up with her, cheat on her, all this, like, was just not a good guy, and she would still, like, constantly flop on, like, us throughout the night whenever to just, like, go be with this guy, even though, like, it wasn't a guarantee that they were actually going to be together or anything. She would also, like, lie about where she was, not say that, like, she was out with us or drinking or anything, so it would just kind of be a downer on the night, because, like, after that, like, who really wants to keep partying? No one. So, like, we go home, Brock drops us off at home. So, like, she...
Also, this is the first time I've ever met her parents. And she looks at me and then is like, "Can you be really quiet when we go in? Because, like, my parents and my auntie are home. They're drinking. They're drunk as fuck." And then, like, her and I immediately bear crawl up these stairs, like, on all fours, up both sets of stairs.
My parents could also be, like... We could combine stories on my parents that could make, like, a series of story times. Like,
That's
they're insane.
Time, though.
Same with my auntie.
They're nuts.
So, like, we're crawling up the stairs. She goes and lays in my bed. Obviously, room spinning for her. She's fucking drunk. This is the first time she's ever been drunk.
I'm just, like, in my clothes, just lying down, like, Nally had to come change both of us.
Yeah, like, I'm throwing up in my sink, and then
Also, in this house, there was no bathroom door.
Yeah.
There was just a blanket.
There was also no door in my room. Also, separate story. The house did come with doors, but now they're not. So I'm throwing up in my bathroom. She's laying in, like, my bed, and then Nally's downstairs getting us water, because she's, like, obviously, you know, sober enough to do so.
Being a mother and all.
Yeah. So, like, we're drunk. We're done. I, like, walk over to my room. I'm taking all my clothes off, bra, underwear, everything. This is the first time I'd ever really hung out with her. And I'm butt naked. And then I just crawl into bed with her. And then, like, to make matters worse, because, like, it's so normal, I'm like, do you want a spoon?
And I was like, of course.
She's like, oh yeah, like, let's do it, yeah. And so she, like, rolls over, and she's like, you know, like, spooning. I'm not holding her hand, like, it's all cute. I've got my teddy bear on the other side of me, like, we're ready to
We're both,
pop.
like, in the corner, too, so, like, we left so much room for
Yeah,
Nally.
for, like, Nally to, like, lay, you know, on the other side of Kelsey. Now, like, Nally is, like, the kind of girl to be, like, she's, like, not in love with me. She's not, like, a lesbian, but she's...
But think, like, Lola and Devon in Big Mouth.
Yeah, like, she was Lola. Like, she was my Lola. And so, like, she, like, always felt threatened by me hanging out with other people, and she always, like, felt like she needed to take care of me and all that, and she, like, was just a weird girl, and she's still a weird girl, but, like, she's a weird girl in general. So, like, we left all this room for her, thinking, you know, like, you know, be free, do your thing. She comes in, puts the waters down, splits us apart, and I mean, like the Red Sea. She was Moses, split us apart. Like, goodbye, no more touch. Others, like, I was touching the wall, and she was, like, hanging off the other side of the bed.
Which wasn't even on the box spring, so I'm just basically, like, hanging on mattress.
I also had, like, a queen-size bed. It was a big bed.
Yeah.
So, like, she split us apart. She had, like, majority of the bed, like, to herself.
Then she throws teddy bears at both of us and is like, go to bed.
And she puts clothes on me, like, she's dressing me. She's like, you leave with your clothes on. She, like, is like, Kelsey, like, do you need anything? Kelsey, like, no. I'm good. So she gives us each a teddy bear. Then this bitch gets in a bed, spoons me. And is, like, petting my head and shit. Can tell you about the morning.
Next morning, I remember. Next morning. So, remember Dolan? He's about to come up. Next morning, Nally makes us pancakes because, again, such a mother. And Jewel and I, we were like, you know what? Let's prank call some people.
Thus Jessica was born. No, Jennifer.
Jennifer. And so we're prank calling people, and this used to be like my favorite thing. Like, I used to pull out voices and shit, and I'd be like, caller ID off, like calling everyone. Like, we called one of her dad's friends sometime, but anyways, we call her man's Dolan, pretending to be some like chick from like our high school,
yeah.
Or like just anyone. And then I was like, hi, it's Jennifer. Like, first of all, I called her Jessica. And then, like, 2 minutes later, I was calling myself Jennifer, and he was like, wasn't your name Jessica? And I was like, no,
this
it's
also
Jennifer.
became, like, addiction, like, an addiction to us, where we were just...
It was bad. Like, at one point, I said in the phone call, like, I saw your Instagram video, and he was like, oh, you know my Instagram?
We made her, then we
hung up instantly, and then I start making a catfish account. I'm like searching on my Facebook, like, for like someone to like whose pictures I can use, and then like we made this account in like 2 minutes. It was beautiful.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. It was beautiful.
It was nice, yeah. We also, like, after this boy, every time I would start seeing a guy, would change this catfish's account.
It changed like 3 times before we finally deleted it.
Yeah, then we were like, hey, we need to chill with the psycho.
Yeah.
Which we could also make like a series of story times, so just
also,
like how many psychos.
To add on to the psycho, at one point she literally went onto her own Instagram, had the catfish logged onto my phone, and fought herself during lunch break at school, like how to beef with herself on IG.
So that he could like see that it like wasn't me, you know? Like I was trying to like, you know, like reassure him that like, you know, like this bitch is crazy.
And there's so many like stories we could tell about these catfish accounts because we did so much with them, but
God bless. I mean, like we're outing ourselves because like if our channel ever does take off, there's a lot of people that are gonna be mad at us because we've done a lot of shit and been like, wasn't us.
Yeah.
But that's how we started being friends.
Yeah, that was the first time we established our friendship.
Bonded. Ever since then, it was tight.
Sharing those pancakes, making that catfish
You're
account.
gonna say panties. Sharing those panties.
Those what really bonded us.
There's been plenty of men since Dolan, like.
Yeah. There's
That
a
sounds
lot
so
of
bad.
stories about Dolan, though.
And other men. I was like,
Alright, well, peace out, guys.
Thank you for watching.